Create a new fantasy team each week with Spitch and track the progress of your players in real time with live up to stats. Enter free-to-play or paid entry tournaments and win real money. Download Spitch today for free. Register and play via the link in the description. We've still got plenty of Game Week 28 action to come on Thursday, but as it stands, a score of 67 points minus 4 has barely moved the rank, which sits around 33k. Wolves have been a big letdown so far, after they were torn apart by Crystal Palace in their first match. Only Man United and Everton have a worse expected goals conceded figure during the game week so far. Even more unfortunate was Luca Digne, who missed out on Aston Villa's 4-0 win over Southampton after testing positive for COVID. Captain Rafinha squandered a big chance against Leicester when he was denied by Kasper Schmeichel from 3 yards out. His 1.0 expected goals figure can only be bettered by Riyad Mahrez amongst midfielders in Game Week 28 so far. But fellow Brazilian Philippe Coutinho enjoyed a better start to the game week, with a double-digit haul against Southampton. Only Ivan Toney, who was awarded 2 penalties, has exceeded his 1.6 expected goal involvement figure so far. Raul Jimenez was surprisingly left out of the starting lineup for a second match running, and failed to register an attempt at goal in his 27-minute cameo. Wolves produced the 3rd lowest expected goals figure across the first round of matches, with only Leicester and Everton offering less threat. But the bench boost is bailing out the underperforming starting 11, with a pair of assists for Alex Lacazette against Watford the highlight. Some poor finishing from West Ham eased the decision to keep Van Dijk over a Chelsea defender. So let's look ahead to the transfer plans ahead of Saturday's Double Gameweek 29 deadline. Bukayo Saka remains the number 1 target ahead of Arsenal's 2 fixtures in Game Week 29, but it's tough to decide who should make way to accommodate him. Rafinha and Coutinho are the 2 most likely candidates, and it comes down to a fixtures versus form dilemma. Coutinho looked fantastic against Southampton, and he's only getting fitter and fitter, but all of his returns have come on home turf so far. Arsenal, Spurs and Liverpool are the next 3 sides to visit Villa Park. So it's for that reason that I'm leaning towards keeping Rafinha, with ties against Norwich, Wolves, Southampton and Watford in his next 4. But I'll reassess the decision after Thursday's matches. It's getting harder and harder to ignore Harry Kane, who looks to be winning that premium battle between himself and Son, but it would require some surgery to bring him in. Downgrading the South Korean to the budget-friendly Dejan Kulusevski is something I'm considering. The Swede has hit the ground running with 2 goals and 3 assists in 4 game weeks since making his first start. That would free up the funds to upgrade Raul Jimenez to Kane, but it would come at the expense of an 8-point hit. You'd expect Jimenez to return to the starting lineup to face Watford on Thursday, and his performance could dictate whether he remains there. It's worth noting that Wolves face Everton and Leeds in game weeks 29 and 30, the same 2 teams that Tottenham have put 9 goals past in the last 2 game weeks. But my gut feeling at this moment in time is that essentially swapping Son to Kane is something that probably does need to happen, even at the expense of a hit or 2. In the 5 matches Kane, Son and Kulusevski have started together, the England captain has amassed a league-high 41 FPL points. No player has had more big chance involvements than his 9 in that period. Son has been involved in 7 meanwhile, and Kulusevski in 5. Whilst I don't expect Kulusevski to continue to outscore Son, I'm not convinced the South Korean is worth almost £5 million more. So to recap, it's looking like Coutinho, Son and Jimenez to Saka, Kulusevski and Kane for an 8-point hit. Again though, I won't be making any moves until after Thursday's matches, and there is always a chance that Jimenez could change my mind, but here's how the team is set to line up as it stands. Martin Dubravka gets the nod over Jose Sa with 2 fixtures, against Chelsea and Everton. The latter particularly looks primed for clean sheet potential, with the Toffees mustering up just 3 goals in their last 4 matches. Only Leeds and Norwich have fashioned fewer big chances than their 5. Despite the allure of Reece James and Matt Doherty, there's no reason to change things up in defence. Liverpool have kept 4 clean sheets in their last 5 matches, conceding just 1 goal. Arsenal have conceded in each of their last 3 matches, but rank 4th best in that time for expected goals conceded per game. Only Liverpool have conceded fewer goals in home matches this season. It's a double game week heavy midfield as well, with Rafinha set to be the only player with a single fixture. It was interesting to see the Leeds talisman taken off set pieces in Jesse Marsch's first game in charge, instead being the one trying to get on the end of things. His 7 touches in the opposition penalty box was the most of any teammate. Norwich have shipped 12 goals in their last 4 matches, with Leeds themselves the only side to fare worse. Alex Lacazette has played a direct hand in 10 goals over his last 10 matches, averaging 5.3 points per game. No player across all positions has picked up as many as his 8 assists in that time, and his 5.17 expected goals figure trails only Ronaldo and Kane amongst forwards. Armando Broja has failed to score in his last 4 matches, prior to Thursday's tie with Newcastle, but his tally of 4 shots on target in that time ranks 3rd best amongst forwards. Watford have conceded 7 goals in their last 4 matches. Only Everton, Brighton, Norwich and Leeds have fared worse. After playing the wildcard when Mo Salah had his last double game week, the plan is to use the triple captainship on him here. The fixtures aren't as good, both away from home, but it's still a chance for up to 180 minutes of the leading FPL point scorer. Liverpool trail only Spurs for goals in their last 4 matches, and have fashioned the league-high 20 big chances, 4 more than any other side. In the same period, Brighton ranked 3rd worst for goals conceded and 4th worst for expected goals conceded. Arsenal, meanwhile, have failed to keep clean sheets against Brentford, Wolves and Watford in their last 3 outings.